This video is sponsored by DJI. The evolution of smartphones has been crazy to see over the years. We've seen phones go from tiny small to super big, and built-in cameras just keep getting better. But like, to really up your mobile camera game, you need something a little bit extra that seems to work like it's, well, a little out of this world. Probably not a surprise to you, but I love shooting videos on my phone. Especially while I'm stuck at home during pandemic time, I am filming like more and more with a tiny computer in my pocket. But I'm shooting kids that are running and sometimes heads get cut off and things are blurry. I'm propping phones up to try to get the right shot. Things never always come out the way that I'm hoping that they will, or at least the way I've got it in my head. So when DJI reached out to see if I want to take a look at their latest mobile gimbal, the OM4, before it was ever announced or released to the public, obviously I jumped at the opportunity. So I had this idea in my head to kind of show off the gimbal around hotspots around Southern California, but unfortunately most of those hotspots are all closed. The sort of lockdown continues here. So I decided to sort of pull back sort of the curtain a little bit. There's been a lot of interest in our new studio space. So I wanted to sort of take you guys around this brand new space that we are not fully moved into at all, and then use the OM4 to kind of show you what it can do, while also showing you all the stuff around me. So before we jump into the tour, I just want to highlight some of the features of the OM4 and kind of why I think it's perfect for this type of studio tour. So if you guys have used like gimbals in the past, getting the phone into the gimbal sometimes been sort of a complicated mess. DJI's made this a lot easier. It's using sort of a magnetic options, which has made it very easy. So you got two choices. One option is sort of a traditional phone clamp. So to slide onto the back of your phone, you can adjust it as needed and then magnetically attached to the gimbal. The other one's I think is really novel and neat. It's a magnetic ring holder. So the idea behind this is that you attach this little ring to your phone once with the included guide, then your phone will always be balanced and then can attach super quickly and easily to the gimbal in like typical DJI fashion. The OM4 is extremely well built. It's got minimal buttons too, so if you're not like a gimbal pro, it'll be very apparent what things do. It's got a compact foldable design, so like any mobile gimbal, you want it to be easy to fold up and put it in your bag. Under the hood, it's got a really strong motor, so it could hold those like big boy flagship phones like your Note 20s and whatever iPhone 12 giant version ends up coming out. So you're always gonna get that smooth video no matter the size and weight of the phone you're using. There's also a ton of built-in shooting modes and effects, and probably one of the most crazy impressive tracking modes that I've ever seen in a mobile gimbal. So now that you know what we're filming with, let me show you around the space. All right, so we've been in this space for a little over a month, and our plan was to do set decoration as we sort of move stuff in. We've been too busy and haven't had time. So as you can see, it's a little sparse. We have big plans for what we want to do. We want to put like a fake brick wall up there and do like a bunch of set decoration, but for now, we're kind of going minimalistic. A lot of questions on the gear we use. So for a monitor, we have a Sumo 19M. This is the non-recorder version. We bought it used. It's been awesome to have. We have a Tear deck on top. This allows us to sort of wirelessly see the video. Mostly we're using one light. It's pretty much some version of an aperture. This is the 300D Mark II. Almost every video shot with this guy, it's the Ursa Mini G2. You can see the receiving part, Tear deck on top. So we got a big boom arm with our Sennheiser mic and a shock mount on it. And then like, this is how things generally look. Usually I've got like my notes on an Apple box. This is just a moving blanket. I bought like a pack of 12 from Amazon. They double as sound blankets, and it's been really awesome to have. And eventually we'll build things up in here. So this is our main set, main room. We're calling it Studio A. This, I think we're gonna build a couch kind of set in here. Not entirely sure yet. We have two chairs. If you saw the video we did, like the Apple hype, the commercial, kind of where I talked about the Apple's advertising strategy. We filmed that kind of on this wall, but sort of, again, a big open canvas for doing stuff with. Next, This one is, see, if you don't know, we have a secondary channel called the Apple Circle. This is going to be the Apple Circle home. But for right now, we're kind of using it for other stuff. We have two seamlesses, Seamly, up there if we want to do like colored backgrounds and stuff. This is where most of our storage locker ended up for right now. We will eventually unpack this. I don't know what we're gonna do with this. Probably turn into more of like an office. People have to make phone calls and that kind of stuff. But now it is just like a gigantic storage room, our very exciting bathroom. This has kind of been our work area where everybody kind of comes in. This is where we'll meet, talk about video strategy. I have, I think, 4 gallons of hand sanitizer sprinkled around here, as well as masks and gloves for people. So here, this is the one room we did get organized. Come with me down the aisles. You can see some of the current generation phones that we've got all here in the boxes. This though, I think that we have potentially more devices than any other YouTube channel that's ever existed. This looks like a lot of Windows Phone stuff, all the old Nokia things here, Galaxy Note 4. We have Apple area, and then we'll fill all this stuff up. This is our gear locker where sort of the camera stuff's gonna go. We have to organize this and get some storage a little bit better in some charging situations, but V-mount batteries. We've got some external power for our microphones and the preamp we use, which is a Mix Pre 3. Lenses. In this space, I know is Robert and Matt's favorite. This is sort of for top-down kind of stuff. So we built out this sort of rig here where the camera can be mounted here and we can shoot straight down. Then we can see what's coming out on the monitor. We have lighting in here. It's at the Aperture 120. I like this room a lot because we can control all the light. There's no outside light sources. So that was pretty exciting. So if you guys want like a more detailed look at all the stuff, like networking and that kind of stuff, let us know in the comments. We'll do a more detailed dive. And also once we're moved in and the sets are done, I'll kind of show you guys around. But this is home for us for now. And it's been kind of fun to have a studio. This is my first studio, before it was offices where writers were and that kind of thing, and that was primary function, and we also filmed there. The whole purpose of this is just for filming. It's been really kind of cool and fun to have our own space. So what you guys just saw with the DJI OM4 plus iPhone 11 Pro looks pretty good, and it looks awesome and smooth and really cool modes. There's a lot of other things that you didn't see that the OM4 can do. So the OM4 is using something called Active Track 3.0, and while we were moving around and I was moving, sort of it looked like the camera was always going with me, but I wasn't really doing anything. There was no magic happening off camera to sort of rack focus, sort of keep me in frame. The gimbal did all of that sort of heavy lifting for me with the power of sort of the balancing and then also DJI software. But I know a lot of people use their phones as a primary A-cam for their YouTube channels or for their family. And the OM4 gives you a lot of cinematic options, ordinarily would be reserved for really expensive camera rigs. This one's called Dynamic Zoom. It creates a really intense warping and visual effect to make sort of videos look really cool. And also, if you guys are filming by yourselves, there's gesture controls built into the OM4, and those have been improved. So if you want to check out or pick up the OM4, and I think you should, it's sort of a nice tool to have in sort of any filmmaker's bag. I'll put all the links to it down below.